All right, I got Alan on the line. Alan, where are you calling from this morning?
I'm calling from Montgomery, Illinois. Steve, what an honor and a privilege to be speaking to you, sir.
Montgomery, Illinois. What do you want to talk about this morning, Alan?
Well, with the state of affairs in the WWE, Punk's upset and taking his ball and gone home, you've voiced your opinion many times on what you feel needs to happen to get them kind of back in the Attitude Era, in regards of earning money, getting mainstream interest, getting folks just interested in the product. Do you think they're on the right track in going in the sports entertainment kind of flavor, or do you think getting back to some of the grassroots, the small studio shows in Memphis and then in Atlanta and
No, I don't think.
territory?
No, I don't think you need to go to the smaller settings from a TV audience standpoint. I think it should be under the umbrella of sports entertainment, but the ring. I think it should be under the umbrella of sports entertainment, but the action that happens in a 20 by 20 squared circle, the ring, is actually wrestling. So you call it wrestling. They don't ever really want to talk about the holds too much anymore, and the announcing has changed. And I think Michael Cole, JBL, and Jerry Lawler do an outstanding job of dispersing the information. But me specifically, I like to hear what's going on in that match at that time, a la Jim Ross. So anyway, again, all due respect to the guys I just mentioned, but wrestling is wrestling under the umbrella of sports entertainment. Call it that, treat it like that, and, stiffen up your storylines a little bit. I understand the PG era. It's the right direction to be PC, politically correct and watch the language parameters, everything that they do. I have no problem with that. But that being said, make your angle serious. You can have some humor, but, this isn't comedy. It's okay to have some humor. It's okay to smile and laugh a little bit. But myself, as a wrestling fan, like action. I like wrestling. I like great promos. I like personal issues. But I want it to be about wrestling and not a bunch of hullabaloo or hogwash, specifically wrestling. And I think, it's always going to be, the direction that they're going, PG, under the sports entertainment umbrella, but about, be a little bit more pure. And don't worry about feeding that damn app so much. That will take care of itself.
Good God.
There's so much white noise, while I'm trying to watch that sometimes it's a little bit distracting.
Yes, sir. Well, and, I think the essence of the product, I guess, is really my question or my thought process of getting back to the essence of the grassroots, wrestling. Let's put some wrestling back on the air, not backstage vignettes and promos and whatnot. I mean, that's all essential.
You got to have some backstage vignettes. But the bulk of, for me, what I want to see is wrestling. You got to have some setups back there. And I think they're trying to keep, jumping all over the place to keep people entertained. Everything is so fast-moving these days. If they're not getting your attention, everybody's clicking a channel. I think with all the backstage stuff, they're getting a lot of people a chance to click a channel. Have some matches out there, more than one match that goes over one segment. Have some two segment matches, maybe in a 3-segment match. Now it's going to have to be with some main event players, and you don't want to give away too much of that for free. But that being said, it goes to, it's all about, it's world wrestling entertainment. Do more of that in the ring on TV. And on the other side of that, it's tough to put too much wrestling in there. I think there's a lot of guys that aren't up to, where they need to be. People are going to change the channel anyway. And, therefore, they've got to have a lot of backstage stuff because they've got 3 hours of live TV to fill. That is an ass load. To me, that's an hour too much because 2 hours was tough enough back in the day. And with the talent roster being as thin as it is, you're looking at a war of attrition. You don't have a whole lot of bodies that are over to maintain that. With that being said, from a talent perspective, now is the time. If anybody wants to, make some headway or get noticed, if they can just get on TV and perform, now is a great time because they need help now. And I said that with all due respect to the guys that are over, but the time is now for someone that wants to get noticed and make a name for themselves and get on that show on a regular basis.
Yeah, that breakthrough opportunity is definitely there. Steve, I don't want to overextend my welcome. Wanted to get your thoughts on one other topic, and that's kind of been thrust in the limelight again, is that tag team scene The Rhodes brothers are doing a great job kind of kickstarting that division again. But it seems like tag team and managers is another kind of lost art. Heyman's doing a great job doing what he does, as only he can do it. But, I go back to the days when Randy Savage made his entrance in the WWE, and you had all the managers out there kind of recruiting him, if you will. We don't have that stable of managers or tag team wrestlers in today's product.
And I don't know why that is. From a managing standpoint, just so many, colorful personalities, back in the day. I mean, of course, Bobby the Brain Heenan, one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time. Paul Heyman, in a different vein than Heenan, because Heenan could work, Heenan could take the bumps, but purely from a verbal view and a psychology view of what Paul Heyman's doing, a masterful job. Every time he gets the mic in his hands, he knocks it completely out of the park. But there's room for that. I mean, I think that with as many. I don't want to go that direction. There's room for more managers in the business. I don't know why. As far as the tag team division goes, man, I am a huge fan of tag team wrestling, but I'm a fan of established tag teams that have been together for a long period of time. So you've got to let these guys stay together so they can truly develop chemistry, and you actually believe that they're a team, not just two guys who have been randomly thrown together to have a tag match. Yeah. It just doesn't do the tag team division or tag team wrestling at all any justice whatsoever, and I, for one, would like to see more of it back.
So with so many veterans like yourself openly speaking, along these lines, and I know you've still got not necessarily a hotline into Mr. McMahon and Triple H, but is all this advice lost on them? Or are they just dead set on going their direction?
That's a really good question. I don't really.
Fans' throat?
That's a good question. I don't really have an inside line to Triple H or Vince. Now I'll talk to them every here or there about something, but I don't just call and randomly say, I've been watching the show. These are my ideas. Here's what you should do. Obviously, I'm very opinionated. I was very opinionated, doing the stuff that I did, and very, very critical. And so critical of my own stuff and critical of what they're currently doing. So, you can talk till you're blue in the face, but at the end of the day,
sure,
it's Vince's baby, and they're going to run it the way he sees fit. And the direction they're going is obviously a reflection of what he sees. And so, down the road, we'll see what happens. I guess they don't see the value in tag team wrestling or what the deal is, but nonetheless, I'm sure, here's the deal. It's not like I have an inside line to them, but what I have been doing is giving cats a 15-second period to cut a promo on WWE Creative, so you're on the clock. Go.
Listen here, Vince. You got to pay attention to what's going on out there. Jericho's talking about it. Stone Cold's talking about it. Anybody with a mouth is talking about it. Use your 2 ears. Listen up. Give the fans what they want.
Oh, hell yeah. And I tell you what, that's one thing that I can say for Vince McMahon. He has always been willing to listen. Anytime someone has ever had an idea, he's been willing to listen. Don't make a difference. It was his idea, someone else's. If it will make money, then he's down to receiving it and implementing it. So that being said, you're not the first to say exactly what you've said, and you said it very succinctly and very eloquently and articulately. Hell of a promo. Vince, put your ears on. Got these cats. Alan specifically, not digging what you're throwing at him. Alan, I appreciate your call. Appreciate you listening to the show.
Keep on working for the working man. We appreciate it.
Open up a can of whoop ass. Get you down the road, Alan.
Thanks, sir.